Recently I had a request for a closer look at the kit, what's inside the backpack, the pouches, and all those things. So I'm going to do that today. Just set this bow over here. We'll start with this 10x10 oilcloth tarp. It stays on this belt, goes around the waist. This sits under the backpack to help distribute the weight from the backpack, so all of the weight's not on my shoulders. This thing itself weighs 6.5 pounds. This backpack off. This is my second waxed canvas backpack, as I destroyed the first one on accident. We'll just get this shemagh here. I have this as part of the 10 C's of survival cotton material, as we can use it to make char cloth if we need to, filter water. Just the big stuff, obviously, filtering the water. Now this backpack looks like it's super full of a whole bunch of things, but it is cramped full, that is true. But most of it is this wool blanket, 80-20, 80% wool, 20%, I don't know what else. I do know it'll keep you warm, but it will not keep you dry. I tested it, immediately the water soaked right through this thing, so looking for an upgrade to this. So with our, we'll hide everything. Tarp, blanket, this makes up the majority of the bedroll. I have this bowl, because I like to eat. Camp knife, 6.5 inches, 5160 high carbon steel. So you can strike the back of this with anything harder than this. Flint, quartz, whatever, get a spark to light your char material if you need that for a fire. I have my mundane hygiene kit here, basically a shaving kit. Stakes for this thing, and that's mostly it in this bag. I do have this water filtration that I hide this mundane stuff in this linen bag. I have this Sawyer Mini. I actually need to filter some water, better than my cotton shemagh will do, obviously. In these pouches this, my sharpening set, just wrapped up in this leather. I have the coarse rod for actual sharpening blades, then the finer ceramic, which is for honing. And this leather that it's wrapped in can be used to strop it. Extra cordage, what's left over from the wool, and an extra ferro rod. That's about it for the backpack. In these pouches I have here, well, first let me take off this water bottle. This is my water bottle. It's actually a stainless steel water bottle, covered in leather, so it looks the part, but if I need to, I can pull this leather off of here, as I just tried to do, but it's a little harder than I remember it being. I can pull this off of here anyway, and boil water in it to sterilize it if I need to. Then in these pouches, This is my maintenance kit here. Another sharpening stone. And again, container can be used as a straw. And here, this little pouch is an assortment of needles. Leather needles and smaller needles for these are replacement conchos. You can see on my boot here has these conchos. If I ever lose one, I have to have these backups. Something I don't like, but still looking to upgrade that boot knife here. This one is my good field dressing if you want to do any of the finer work. This is not a good camp knife because it's a hollow grind, so it's easy to chip that edge. But it's good for your finer work. You have fat wax here. Fat wax I use to wax the blades so they don't rust. Wax my bowstring. You can use it on leather, wood, steel. It's really pretty good all-purpose maintenance. Put these things back in here. This one is for my more mundane stuff. This is pretty much all mundane things in this kit, but things that I will actually need. My wife is allergic to bees, so here's an EpiPen. Compass, really cheap compass. Definitely get something better than this. Working on it. Candling, because again we're still trying to fill the 10 C's of survival of this headlamp. This is the emergency pouch here. Also, my Band-Aids, which is super glue, because it works better than Band-Aids, at least for me. One bottle of super glue instead of 3,000 Band-Aids. This last belt of pouches here. This pouch here looks like it has a lot of things in it. Really also doesn't have a lot of things in it. It's got cordage and a spoon to go with my bowl, because I like to eat. More cordage. The only difference is one of these is braided, so it's really hard to get it apart. This is the one I like to use for putting the tarp up. Basically anything other than using it for sewing. That would be this twisted bank line that you can easily untwist and use the smaller strands for sewing, or anything else you could use smaller strands for that I don't know what that would be. But I have used it to sew up my cloak that I rent, and it did work pretty good. So it is doable. That has been tested. I don't know how good a job it is, because I'm not really good at sewing. But it will work. This small pouch here doesn't have much of anything in it. It's usually where I keep my mundane things like my wallet and keys. But it does also have my Speedy Sharp in case I need a quick edge on a knife. I don't have time to sit down and really sharpen it well. This will put a quick edge on it, but the quick edge that you put on it also wears off pretty quick. So it's just really an emergency thing. This is my thumb ring, because I shoot thumb draw. So if I'm going to shoot more than just a couple arrows, I need this thing. In this giant pouch, I have my cook pot, this linen sack. That has my charred material we talked about earlier. And just have some pieces of cloth that I charred, some pieces of wood that we charred last time we made a campfire. It's a piece of linen with a ferro rod and a striker in it. Because this piece of linen keeps it from being noisy while it's inside that cook pot, and could also be used for char material if I find myself lacking in that. And here's some mundane big lighters because emergency. Gotta be prepared for the emergency. So we'll go back in here. All right. So that's all of the real equipment. Everything else is weapons, swords, arrows, daggers. We already went over the boot knife. All of these clothes are linen. The only leather I have on me right now is belts and these bracers. Gloves are leather. Hood is leather because it's better resistant to all of the elements I've found with linen hoods, waxed canvas hoods. I've tried a bunch of different hoods. I ended up with this leather one. It's the best one for me. Whatever works for you, I suppose. That's the, unless I'm forgetting something, but I think I covered all the things. So I have all of these pouches, the canvas tarp, the wool blanket that's not spectacular. That's the biggest part of it. This backpack that doesn't hold a lot of things, but it holds really big things. So that's it. If you have any questions of anything specific, just ask them in the comments. I'll let you know. I have links to most of these things if anybody is interested. So hopefully that covered the closer look at the equipment that was requested.